Hi ladies and gentlemen, here is my 12th video message related to COVID-19. We are on March 30, 2020, it's 4 p.m. There are now 13 persons infected in the Gaspésie de la Madeleine region, according to the latest figures. But we cannot even have a difference between Gaspésie and Magdalene Islands, and it's impossible to know the figures by MRC, even less by municipality. As you know, compliance with the guidelines pays off. There is a very small number of cases here. So much the better. Even if the region is now particularly isolated from the rest of the Quebec, we must continue the fight. So thank you again to everyone who respects the instructions, and thank you for all those who continue to offer our essential services. You are our rainbows. Today, Prime Minister Legault announced that only few businesses could remain open on Sunday, like convenience stores, gas stations, and pharmacies. For grocery stores and others, they will now be closed on Sundays. And for my message of the day, I will especially put on my prefect hat, because I must tell you about a new emergency program that the MRC has just launched to help small businesses and the self-employed get through the current crisis. After, I will give you an update about the limiting access to the region, and I will conclude with the usual instructions and the specific message concerning the sugar shacks. Last week, the MRC Council of Mayors decided to transfer the sum of $150,000 to an emergency fund to help our small businesses and our self-employed workers get through the liquidity crisis caused by COVID-19. Compared to the amounts of Quebec and Ottawa, it's modest, but it's proportional to the means that we have locally. Also, the economic unit with MRC, SADC, and CCTG coordinated their efforts, and the SADC will also offer a similar support. The MRC aid will be in grants, and the SADC in loans. The objective of this is to support small businesses that may have been forgotten by the federal and the provincial. So we are not duplicating our efforts, but we are making up for the oversight of government programs. The MRC program plans to support companies by offers a subsidy covering 15% of the anticipated loss of income related to the impact of the coronavirus for March and April, for a maximum of $5,000 per business. The ACDC Emergency Fund has a similar objective. In this case, we are talking about loans of $5,000 to $20,000 per business with capital and interest repayment leave for 3 months. The SADC also offers help to cover parts of your accounting costs to help you to get through the crisis. Both for the MRC and for the SADC, the simple and effective forms are available on their websites, www.cotedegaspe.ca and www.sadcgaspe.ca. All the details of the programs are also there. And I remind you, our local entities will not go into areas where the federal and the provincial governments have. We must be complementary so that our small businesses have minimal support in the crisis. Finally, I say it again, our economic teams are there to help our businesses, both with assistance programs and with your request at the federal and provincial levels. For the MRC, it's 418-368-7000, and for the SADC, 418-368-2906. Another subject. As you saw on Saturday, access to 8 regions of Quebec, including Gaspésie, is now limited. In general, people agree with us that it became necessary. The aim is to prevent the virus from spreading to less affected regions. It's good for us. I remind you, all the circulation of essential goods and services is maintained. Food, medicine, post, health staff, patients who have a medical appointment, etc. Also, all our Gaspésie products can leave the territory without any problem. The checkpoints are operating by the Sûreté du Québec and Public Health with the support of Transport Québec. There are 4 in Gaspésie, one in Capcha-les-Méchins, one in Routierville in the Matapédia, and 2 bridges to New Brunswick. There are also checkpoints near La Pocatière in the Bas-Saint-Laurent. People must answer questions and meet certain criteria to enter the region. Otherwise, they are returned. People who have flu symptoms are returned. Those who have their principal residence here, who transport essential goods or who work in the essential service sector, who have medical needs or who respond to a court order, so them can enter. Those who return to their main residence and who come from an infected region must be isolated for 14 days, as if they were returning from abroad. Their names are noted at the barrier, and they will be called for periodic follow-ups. Finally, I can remind you of the reference number for questions on COVID or for an appointment for screening tests. It's 1-877-644-4545 or on the website quebec.ca/coronavirus. And I still remind you of the essential measures. If you return from a trip from abroad or from another region of Quebec, it's compulsory isolation. For everyone, avoid human contact and stay 2 meters or 6 feet from anyone. Wash your hands frequently. Avoid any gathering. Decrease your presence in public places to the bare minimum. Pay by credit card. And for people over 70 or who have a chronic disease or illness, stay at home. I also remind you that for shops still open, it's 1 person at a time per family. For sugar shacks, it's the same rule. We have to forget the sugar parties this year. It's sad, but it's necessary. No gathering, even in the forest. For people who operate a sugar shack, keep a distance of 2 meters with your assistants. The sugar shacks is not an exception, and the risk of virus transmission are also present. I also reach out to those who want to volunteer to help our vulnerable peoples while respecting the instructions for distance. It's always possible to give your name on the website www.jebénévole.ca. So thank you for your help and thank you for respecting the instructions. It's important. Every action counts. It's going to be fine. Thank you for your attention.